detail your last unit, that is the downstream processing. Coming to the introduction of this downstream processing, what is the downstream processing? So the various processes used for actual recovery and purification of biosynthetic products from a fermentation or any other industrial process together constitute a downstream processing. So downstream processing means it is not a single step or it is not a single process, but the various processes that are actually used for the recovery and purification. That means we have to separate a desired product and then we have to purify it. Now that may be a biosynthetic product from the fermentation or any other industrial process. So in short, we can define the downstream processing as the various processes used for actual recovery and purification of biosynthetic products from a fermentation or any other industrial process. It togetherly constitute downstream processing. Okay. Now, in short, downstream means after the fermentation process. Okay. Upstream means it is before the fermentation process. That means whatever the preparation or whatever the parameter setting, pilot scale setting, media formulation, then the culture selection or the microbial culture selection, all these steps that are included in the upstream. But the downstream means after the fermentation process. Now, there are primary and secondary unit operations of the downstream processing. So, primary unit operations of downstream processing includes cell recovery or removal. Now, recovery will be whenever the cell debris or the biomass is our interested product. And cell removal will be applied when we are not interested in the biomass. Then centrifugation, dewatering, ultrafiltration, precipitation, and spray drying. So these are the primary unit operations of the downstream processing. While the secondary unit operations of the downstream processing is protein purification, then adsorption chromatography, gel permeation chromatography, protein processing, mobilization, beading or prilling, then protein packaging, sterilization and bottling. So starting from isolation or a separation of the desired product till the bottling or the packaging. All these steps, they togetherly constitute the downstream processing. So broadly speaking, the different processes that are involved in the downstream processing may be the unit operations in the primary and the secondary. So there are overall different steps. Now, it is not essential that all the steps should be carried out in the downstream processing of each and every byproduct or the fermentation product. Now, depending on the type of fermentation product, depending on the quality or the extent of purity that is required, depending on the extent of sterilization of the finished product required, we have to decide the appropriate downstream processing or the steps that are involved in the downstream processing. That means if we are going to produce the biofertilizer, the downstream processing will be different. If we are interested in the single cell protein, again, if a pharmaceutical product is there, eye drops are there, or such ointment is there. If there are eye drops or if an antibiotic is there, then we require a kind of high level of sterilization, a kind of the packaging that is a critical step. So depending on the type of fermentation product that we are going to purify or isolate, the different types of primary and secondary unit operations can be involved. Now, broadly speaking, the main steps. So the downstream processing includes various stages of processing that occur after the completion of the fermentation or bioconvergence stage. And it includes separation, purification and packaging of the product. So overall, when we consider the term that is downstream processing, it includes various stages of processing, but that are strictly after the completion of the fermentation or bioconvergent stage. Now, what are these processes? These are broadly we can categorize these stages or the processes as removal of insolubles, then isolation of or extraction of the product. Broadly speaking, we can categorize the different processes that are included or the steps that are included in the downstream processing as first, that is the removal of insolubles. Second, that is the isolation of extraction product. Isolation of extraction product. Then the concentration of the product and packaging of the product. So one by one, starting from removal of insoluble to the packaging, we will have more purified, more concentrated, and the desired product finally that can be brought into the market. Okay, so all these steps, that is removal of insoluble, isolation or extraction of product, concentration of the product, and packaging of product. These are the four major steps. But again, this is not a single step. That means the removal of insoluble, it is not a one-step process, or it is not having only one specific step or the process. Likewise, the rest of the stages that are also including a variety of steps or a variety of processes that we have to decide as per the whole fermentation process, as per the product that we desire. Okay. This is just the very basic information. Now, overall, the steps involved in the downstream processing depends on the type of product. So what kind of product that are produced by the process of fermentation? Now that may be the cell itself, as we have already discussed, that may be either Baker's yeast or the biofertilizer. So whenever we have designed the particular fermentation process for production of Baker's yeast, that may be either, again, that may be also the single cell protein or that may be the biofertilizer. Here, our targeted product is the biomass. Okay. Now, if it is the extracellular type, so if our fermentation product is either alcohol or it is antibiotics, a variety of antibiotics, all these are the extracellular type. In that case, the product will be released by that particular microbial cell within the fermentation broth. So only after separating out the biomass, then we have to focus or we have to concentrate our desired product from the filtrate or from the finished fermentation broth. But the third type of product, that may be either intracellular type, certain kind of intracellular enzymes that are our intended product, or there may be certain vitamins. In that case, initially we have to separate the biomass, then we have to carry out a variety of cell lysis steps from that biomass or from the microbial cell, and then we have to go for the actual separation and purification of the desired product. So broadly speaking, we can design a particular fermentation process for a variety of products that can be categorized into three major types, that is cell itself, extracellular type, or the intracellular type. Now, depending on each of these types, we can have a particular type of the steps. Okay. So, overall, the downstream processing refers to the recovery and purification of biosynthetic products, particularly pharmaceuticals from natural sources such as animal or plant tissue or fermentation broth, including the recycling of salvageable components and the proper treatment and disposal of waste. So overall, whatever may be our desired product, the isolation or purification of that product, after that isolation or separation of that product, then whatever the leftover fermentation broth is there, if it is having certain recyclable compound, then the recyclable, whatever the waste, that is the either that may be the solid waste or it may be the liquid waste, the appropriate treatment and the disposal of waste. So all these aspects are included under the downstream processing. So downstream processing, it is an essential step in the manufacture of pharmaceuticals such as antibiotics, hormones, that is insulin and human growth hormone, then antibodies and vaccines, antibodies and enzymes used in diagnostics, then industrial enzymes and natural fragrances and flavor compounds. So this is a list of variety of products that are usually produced by means of fermentation process. What are these? The pharmaceutical products such as the antibiotics, human growth hormones, insulin. Then a variety of antibodies. There are different kind of antibodies and vaccines. Now here antibodies that are mainly used, that is the monoclonal antibodies are there. Then the different antibody that are used for the therapeutic purposes, that is in the case of passive immunization. Similarly, a variety of vaccines are there. Then apart from these therapeutic purposes, the different kind of antibodies are used for the diagnostic purposes, a variety of enzymes that are used for the diagnostic purposes. Now, the purity and the sterilization as compared to the antibodies or enzymes that are used for the industrial application, that is different. That means whenever we are using particular antibodies for the therapeutic purposes, and we can use the an antibody for the diagnostic purposes. Now the grade of purification that differs in that case. Similar is with the case of enzymes. Now the enzymes of comparatively less purity are required when we are using it for the variety of industrial application. That means in the leather industry, in the detergent, where whatever the enzymes that are required, that are not at all required for the analytical grade. So a kind of or the extent of purity is much more less than compared to the diagnostic enzyme. Okay. Then other enzymes or other products that are related with the food industry, that is the natural fragrances, then the flavor compounds and so on. So all these products are produced by the bioconversion or by the fermentation process. Now, depending on, we will just have an overview of the steps involved in the downstream processing depending on the variety of product. Whatever we have discussed here, the three different types, that is the cell types or the cell itself, extracellular type and intracellular type. Now on the broadly we will have an overview regarding the downstream processing or the steps involved in the downstream processing one by one for cell itself, extracellular type of the fermentation product and the intracellular type of the fermentation product. So the stages in the downstream processing, if the product is the cell itself. What are that steps? First one is the separation of particles. Now that can be achieved by filtration, centrifugation, flocculation and flotation. Okay, so whenever the cell itself is our end product or the desired product, then we have to make a complete focus on the separation of the biomass. So for that purpose, the most crucial step here is the separation of particles. Now that separation of particles can be carried out by one or more steps, that is either by filtration, centrifugation, flocculation and flotation. So once we have separated that biomass, then it is followed by cooling and packaging, so that whatever that cell product is there, that can be brought to the market. So comparatively simple steps are involved in the downstream processing if the cell itself is the product. Later on, whatever the filtrate that is left over, that is to be treated and that is to be disposed appropriately. Okay. Then if the product is extracellular, so the stages in the downstream processing, if the product is excreted outside the cell, that means it is the extracellular product. That may be the extracellular enzymes, that may be the different kind of antibiotics that are released by that particular microbial cells within the fermentation broth. Now here the steps involved are the separation of particles, extraction and concentration. Three major steps are there that are included in the downstream processing if the product is excreted outside the cell. So the first step is the separation of particles. Now this separation of particles can be carried out either by centrifugation or by filtration. Then it is followed by flocculation and flotation. So these are the major steps or these are the key steps in the separation of particles. Then it is followed by extraction. So once whatever the microbial cells or the solid particle that are separated, now we have to focus on that filtrate, because our desired product is the extracellular product that has been released by microbial cell within that fermentation broth. So under extraction, we have to carry out the liquid-liquid extraction, then whole broth extraction, and the aqueous multi-phase extraction. So by any of these or combination of one or more, we can extract our desired product. So the extraction can be carried out either by all of these or any of these. That is liquid-liquid extraction, whole broth extraction, and aqueous multi-phase extraction. Here, the condition is that whatever our desired product is, that is extracellular, and it is released in the fermentation broth. Once it is extracted, then it should be concentrated. So the concentration of that extracted fermentation product is carried out by chromatographic techniques. Then here it is including a variety of chromatographic technique, and then the type of chromatographic technique that is required, that again depends on whether we require that extracellular product of analytical grade, it is being used for diagnostic purposes, or it is used for the variety of industrial application. So on the basis of that, we can use the different kind of concentration techniques such as chromatographic techniques, evaporation process, crystallization, and adsorption. So 4 different types of techniques are included under the concentration of the extracted fermentation broth or extracted fermentation product. That are chromatographic techniques, evaporation process, crystallization, and adsorption. So this is just overview of the stages in the downstream processing if the product is excreted outside the cell. Here, we are no more interested in the cell pellet, or we are no more interested in the biomass. So once that biomass or the solid particles are separated, we have to carry out the different steps with the filtrate or the finished fermentation broth only. But the process is entirely different if the cells are there and if again the product is intracellular. So just have an overview regarding the stages in the downstream processing if the product is intracellular. Now here, instead of releasing that product extracellularly, the product is present within the particular microbial cell. So firstly, we have to focus on how we can release that intracellular product from the cells. So the various steps involved here are the separation of particles, then the disintegration of the cells, then extraction and concentration. So the sequence of the steps varies with the type of product, whether it is the cell itself, whether it is extracellular, or whether it is intracellular. So in case of intracellular product, the separation of particles can be carried out by, again, the filtration, centrifugation, flocculation, and flotation. These are the common steps that are usually carried out for the separation of particles. So that are filtration, centrifugation, flocculation, and the flotation. Then later on, the separation of the particle, then the particles are taken up and the disintegration of the cells is carried out. Here, we are not interested in the broth or the filtrate. Once we have carried out the filtration, then the filtrate or the leftover fermentation broth is carried out for further processing. That is for the what we can say the treatment and the disposal. And the cells are focused, and then we have to carry out the disintegration of the cells. Why we have to disintegrate the cell? Because whatever our end product or the desired product is, that is present intracellularly within that cell. So unless and until we carry out the lysis of the cell, our product will not be released outside that microbial cell. So the disintegration of the cells is carried out by mechanical cell destruction, drying, and the lysis. Now here, the disintegration of the cells can be carried out by a variety of approaches, that may be a biological, that may be the mechanical, or that may be the chemical. But more preferably the chemical approach is not used, because that chemical, whatever we are using for the cell lysis that may interfere with our desired product. So preferably the mechanical cell disruption is carried out, then the drying and the lysis is carried out, or the drying is carried out. Afterward, once that cell lysis has been carried out, now our aim is to extract our desired product from that cell debris. So this extraction of the desired product can be carried out by the liquid-liquid extraction, whole broth extraction, aqueous multiphase extraction. So any or more than one can be used for the extraction of the desired intracellular product. Afterward, the extracted product is concentrated by different steps such as evaporation, membrane filtration, chromatography technique, and the adsorption. So the concentration of extracted intracellular product can be carried out by evaporation, membrane filtration, chromatography technique, adsorption. So now it might be clear to all of you that depending on the type of product, that is the type of desired product, whether it is cell itself, extracellular or intracellular, we have to plan appropriate sequence of the different stages in the downstream processing. So as per the product vary, the stages involved in the downstream processing also vary. But overall, the strategy for the downstream processing for the fermentation product is same, that is the separation of the solid material, then the extraction, then concentration and packaging. Okay, is it clear to all of you, or is there any doubt?